You know, it is clear as day that Donald Trump and his family have treated the presidency like a personal ATM. But now we are finding out, finally, who else is profiting off this regime, and it is a doozy. I'm Josh, this is Ring of Fire Weekends, and I'm not one of the ones getting rich. Hell, most of us can't afford to get old-fashioned groceries right now. You know, back in the day when you told people to follow the money in politics, you'd come across sounding like that unhinged person trying to connect chemtrails to the cancellation of Gossip Girl. Yeah, both the original and the reboot. But here we are, watching people get rich in the sleaziest of ways with the proof right in front of our eyes. And look, we already knew that Trump and his family's business web, they've pulled in over $4 billion this term alone. It's coming from AI funding and licensing deals for cheap crap that has spray-painted gold all over it and his name all over it. He's got energy plays, crypto scams, ventures, and it just keeps going and going. And at first, this story felt familiar. Trump enriching Trump. Hotels, golf courses, branding. You almost get desensitized to it because it was so obvious. It was so in your face. But what's become harder to ignore is who else is getting rich right beside him. And all you have to do is really follow the money. And the shadiest of people that have a whole lot of this money are the people we're following. These are people who need favors, they're people who needed problems to go away, and these are people who were willing to pay. From jail to jets, from disgrace to power. And when you track how this money moves, the same tools keep showing up. Crypto, offshore accounts, shell companies, foundations that exist mostly as nothing more than just a letterhead. And I see crypto as being key here, not because it's innovative, which it is, not because it's futuristic, which it can be, and it really does have the potential to improve the global economy. But the reality is, it is incredibly useful if you don't want anyone asking questions. If you want the regulators to go away and you want them to stop snooping around your account statements and finding checks to pay off Stormy Daniels, you go crypto. Amazingly, certain people have stopped caring about the consequences. And they've stopped caring about who they screwed over, and they've been welcomed right into Mar-a-Lago with open arms. Take Changpeng Zhao. His company Binance admitted to massive failures and anti-money laundering controls and paid billions in penalties. He personally pleaded guilty. His punishment? A full Trump pardon. All of his penalties erased and billions in crypto deals waiting on the other side, and tens of millions in interest payments going back to Trump-related businesses annually. Or look at Justin Sun, being investigated by the DOJ and the SEC with allegations of illegally inflated crypto prices and proceeds going directly to illicit markets. He put $75 million into Trump's crypto operation, known as World Liberty Financial, even serving as an advisor. Boom, investigation gone. Trump later said that he barely knew who this guy was. Apparently, money is better at introductions. Then you have Ross Ulbricht, serving a life sentence for running Silk Road, the marketplace online that facilitated hundreds of millions in illegal transactions. You could buy anything on Silk Road, anything. Drugs, guns, assassinations, you name it. But because of Trump, Ross Ulbricht is a free man. All despite Trump's tough talk about drugs. There's no restitution, no acknowledgement about the victims, just free to go. And it keeps going. The BitMEX founders pleaded guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act. Trump pardoned all of them. He even pardoned the parent company itself. Look, since 2025 alone, Trump family crypto ventures have pulled in hundreds of millions of dollars, with meme coin promotions jumping more than 50% anytime the White House access was hinted at, like private tours for the investors. You don't need a corkboard with Polaroids to see the pattern here. If you could move money fast and you kiss the Trump ring, things got easier. You make Trump money, funnel the money through the right Trump-adjacent lobbyists, and you go free. And to me, that's where Venezuela enters the picture. Because while there's so many unanswered questions about what happens next there, and while Trump obsesses about this Nobel Peace Prize that he grifted himself, well-connected private contractors and intermediaries were already lining up. He admitted he talked to the oil companies first. The oil deals were negotiated before Congress even knew what was happening. Revenue streams already carved out. And instead of the money flowing through the U.S. Treasury to help build Venezuela, to help struggling Americans, to help drive down energy costs, we're learning that the largest portion of all of this money is ending up in overseas accounts controlled by Trump-linked interests. By the way, the $170 billion in debt and interest and missed payments that Venezuela owes, just like Trump and everything else he does, he has no plans to pay those, which clears the way for Trump to sell that stolen oil worry-free. And the first official deal, $500 million. And the first beneficiary, a Qatari bank, where Trump is sending at least some of the proceeds. And look, Qatar, we know they've spent years trying to brand itself as a responsible global partner, all while being cited repeatedly for money flowing to extremists and terrorist organizations. And they also have this troubling history of human rights violations that Trump is seemingly jealous of. Hell, Trump himself had very strong words for Qatar in his first term.
Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level. And in the wake of that conference, nations came together and spoke to me about confronting Qatar over its behavior. So we had a decision to make. Do we take the easy road, or do we finally take a hard but necessary action? We have to stop the funding of terrorism.
And he even bragged about supporting a blockade against Qatar. And yet, Venezuelan oil revenue is flowing there anyway. It's funny, a $400 million luxury jet gifted to the president seems to grease the skids just enough.
I have a lot of respect for the leadership and for the leader, Qatar. And I think they knew about it because they buy Boeings. They buy a lot of Boeings.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
It's only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
And suddenly, Qatari landscaping and how beautiful the Qatari palaces are is all Trump can talk about. And it's beautiful enough to move portions of stolen Venezuelan oil proceeds to Qatari banks just so they don't get seized. Billions of dollars don't just sit politely in foreign accounts unless someone wants them there. And when those accounts exist in a country known for selective and flexible standards, it doesn't take paranoia to wonder where that money ends up next. Especially when countries like Iran, they already have a state-backed crypto program to dodge sanctions. We've already seen Russia. They've moved oil tankers around the blockades. Especially when Trump's donor network, packed with criminal friends and family members, overlaps perfectly with the industries that benefit when sanctions loosen and oversight fades. Because when this stolen oil revenue floats overseas, something else keeps coming back home. Congress, they start asking questions. Journalists, they dig in. And it feels like the whole thing is about to break wide open. And then, right on cue, another distraction, another Truth Social post, another attack on American citizens, just like always. And the White House, meanwhile, acts like it's all completely normal. But Biden and radical leftists and the trans people and immigrants. Meanwhile, our bills are higher than ever, jobs are disappearing, our friends and neighbors are being detained or worse, but Trump's pals, whether they're foreign countries, whether they're friends, whether they're investors, whatever it is, they're getting rich. And then they're going down to Mar-a-Lago and hosting whatever the hell this thing is. And for us, no furry masks, no cheap old-fashioned groceries, and no lower gas prices for us. Doesn't it seem like our feeds are getting filled with more and more BS right-wing MAGA content? It's no secret that all these top tech bros are in love with the current regime, so it's no surprise that independent left-leaning media is being squashed by the algorithm. If you like our content and content like us, it doesn't take long to click that thumbs up, share, comment, or subscribe. So please help us keep the truth alive.